Wankers. Fucking embarrassing. Waste of our time. Fucking waste of our time.
Okay guys, sorry for the trolling there, but seriously, it's kind of beyond a joke really, the DC Cinematic Universe, or DC Extended Universe as it's more officially known. It really hasn't performed well with many of its films, Wonder Woman maybe with the exception, but this headline from Batman-News.com, very good website, Justice League disappoints at the box office with DC film's lowest opening yet. The article goes on, Zack Snyder's big superhero team-up movie only made 96 million in its first weekend. That's this weekend. That's the lowest opening of any DC films movie yet. Man of Steel made 116 million. Batman v Superman made 166 million. Suicide Squad 133 million. And Wonder Woman made 103 million. This is domestic weekend opening box office figures from what I understand, so really does not look good. In fact, I'm kind of thinking at this point of trolling a little bit further and thinking Ra's al Ghul really should sum up the DC Extended Universe.
It is beyond saving and must be allowed to die.
Pretty much. I mean, this thing doesn't seem to be working at all. It just seems to be going downhill. Now, there's lots of ways you can kind of look at it. Obviously, box office reporting is one of them, critical reception is another. But it just seems to me like they just need to just let this franchise just go. So, I mean, there's talk about soft rebooting, basically. There's a Flashpoint Paradox movie that is allegedly in the works, and that would be one way of kind of doing what J.J. Abrams did with Star Trek and basically going back in time, changing things. That way you can recast and say, well, the same characters, but these are different iterations of them, therefore you've got different actors and a different tone and vibe. That'd be one kind of legitimate way of doing it. I don't know if that'd really sell, but I'd be interested in seeing that. This could be something that we will just one day look back on this franchise when it has succeeded and say, you know, it's hard to believe that these awesome DC movies that have outdone Marvel were once quite badly received and just not all that good. I don't really see that happening, to be honest, but it'd be really good if it did, because I want this franchise to work, and unfortunately it hasn't done. Now, something that I tend to go back to a lot of the time is October 2014. This was a time when Warner Brothers and DC announced their slate of upcoming movies. At this time, Man of Steel was the only film that had been released, all the others were still in the works and quite a way off. So at the time, basically what happened is they announced a slate of movies. It included 2 Justice League movies, an Aquaman movie, a Flash movie, a Cyborg movie, a Wonder Woman movie, Suicide Squad, all this other stuff as well was kind of in discussion. In fact, I can't remember if there was an Aquaman movie in that, but anyway, basically they announced their slate, and the way they did this was at a shareholders conference, and the rest of us got the announcement in text format in a press release. So the information in and of itself was quite interesting and exciting, but it wasn't really a thoughtful and inventive way of announcing this. I hate to point the finger here at DC, but Marvel, on the other hand, announced theirs within the same sort of space of time. It was October 2014, so within a few weeks of the DC announcement, Marvel did the same thing, but they did theirs at a large press event at the El Capitan Theatre, and they had fans, they had the press, like I say, they had the actors from the movies like Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, and they also had Chadwick Boseman, who plays Black Panther. They were on stage having a bit of banter. They had the producer Kevin Feige giving a rich description of all the movies and the characters that they were putting together and how it was all going to tie together and how the magic that had been working up to that point was going to continue to work, and it has done in hindsight. So there's a comparison there. I hate to make the comparison because I love DC, well, in terms of concept, I love DC and Marvel pretty much equally. In fact, I think the animated stuff of DC is actually better than Marvel, so I'm not one way or the other, a fan of one of the other, really. I just call a spade a spade. But it does show the difference in, well, business practice for one thing, and also creative invention of how they put these things out there between Marvel and DC / Warner Brothers, because really DC kind of dropped the ball there, and it showed, and it's continued to show in terms of what they've been putting out, and unfortunately it's showing in the box office figures, which isn't good because it hurts the franchise. So we'll see going forward anyway. So I don't want to be negative anyway. Like I say, I still haven't seen Justice League myself, but I'm just kind of reporting on what the successes are or aren't. So anyway, on a positive note, tomorrow I'm going to be reviewing the Spider-Man Homecoming Blu-ray, the 4K Blu-ray. I know this has been out in America for a while, but it's only just hit the UK tomorrow, that is anyway, on Monday the 18th of November. So if you want to check back Brand X Reviews, you can follow us on Facebook, obviously, YouTube and Instagram. So for now, I'll just leave it there and say thank you very much for watching.
Oh, bloody hell, Topher.